today's class, you will need 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, books work, like a hardcover, like a Harry Potter book, that kind of size. You can even stack a couple of hardcover books up if you need to. You will need some sort of padding for your knees. So if you're working on a rug and then a mat, a yoga mat, that might be enough. I use these rubber pads that I got through Amazon, but you might also have a blanket available. This happens to be a fleece blanket that comes in a little zip pouch, but you can use any blanket. You may also need a strap, and if you don't have a yoga strap, a strap from a bathrobe works well, or even a belt. Or you might just end up grabbing your clothing. I also suggest some water nearby, and you might need a Kleenex, or in my case, a handkerchief. So I'm going to just move my props a little off to the side. I don't need them immediately. Find your comfortable seated position. And if nothing feels comfortable, or if your low back is sagging towards the back of your room, sit up on something. So that could be your blanket. It could be the rubber padding, or it could even be a block. And place whatever it is you're sitting on underneath your sit bones so that you can feel your back bottom ribs being able to stretch up a little more easily. Shoulder blades away from the back. Come into your Ujjayi breath. And just feel for slowing down, deepening your breath. Luxuriate in this moment. Close your eyes if it's comfortable. If it's not, just pick a spot about 4 feet in front of you and soften your gaze there. The intent today is to breathe into a spot that is ready to make a shift, and make a shift there. So first, feel for a spot. So again, breathe in, use your breath, and explore all around your back. Could be down into your sacrum or even a little lower. Could be your low back, mid back, upper back, your shoulders, anywhere across your back. For those who have an injury or some sort of pain, this may be your spot. Take 3 more breaths, feeling in, and usually it's a spot that just pops up into your mind. Now, send your breath into your spot. Use your breath to make space. If you're working with an injury or painful spot, in particular, your intent is to make a shift towards pain-free, using your breath, using the practice, and feeling in for how you move within poses, how you move into poses. Can you make a shift anywhere to bring you away from pain, even if it's just a tiny bit more? Everyone, inhale into your spot. Feeling for what it is that you want to feel there. Spaciousness, to be more pain-free or towards pain-free, or more easeful. And once you've identified what you'd like to feel more of in this spot, use your exhale and start rinsing that intention of what you want to feel there into your spot. Take 3 more deep Ujjayi breaths into your spot, connecting to what it is that you'd like to shift there. Then gently open your eyes. We're moving into a pranayama, 2 pranayama. The first one is Kapalabhati, which is short, sharp exhales, followed by 1 Uddiyana. So I'm going to demonstrate both of them first. We're going to do this seated. Stay seated, breathing into your Ujjayi, with your Ujjayi breath into your spot as you watch and listen. I'm standing up so you can see me. Kapalabhati is the first pranayama. That is done by forcefully pulling your belly in, forcefully exhaling the breath out. The inhale is passive. The belly balloons out, the breath rushes back in. So it looks and feels like this. I'm putting a hand on my belly, which you might find useful when we move into this together, so that I'm doing it so you can see what's happening. So it looks and sounds like this. That's Kapalabhati. We'll do that, and then we'll follow it with Uddiyana, which I'll demonstrate now. And to demonstrate it, I'm going to lift up my shirt and expose my belly so you can see what's happening. So I need to just lower the waistband a little bit. You're going to do it seated. I'm showing it standing for more visibility. It starts with a partial inhale. Exhale forcefully all the breath out. Get empty. Stay empty. Suction your belly back and up towards the spine. Hold the breath for as long as is comfortable. Then before inhaling, let your belly go, breathe in. So it looks and sounds like this. Okay, so let's do both of these together. Come into either Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together. If that's not working for you, easy cross leg, just switch the cross of your legs. Chest opener for everyone. If you're pregnant, you're not doing these pranayama. Instead, you're doing 3 deep Ujjayi breaths into your low back ribs, then your mid back ribs, then your top back ribs. But come into chest opener. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. For those doing Kapalabhati, start with a partial inhale. Short, sharp exhales. Take a deep inhale in. Hold the breath at the top of the inhale. And then normally exhale all the breath out in your Ujjayi breath. Then to set up for Uddiyana, take a partial inhale in. Walk your hands forward. Exhale forcefully all the breath out. Get empty. Stay empty. Suction your belly back and up towards the spine, and you may drop the chin. Pull your chest away from the waist. Before you need to breathe in, let your belly go first, then breathe in and walk your hands back up. This is where you might need that tissue. Then, unlocking the hips. Sit up on your right hip, grab your left thigh in both hands, and just coax that left thigh away from the hip. Then set your left sit bone back onto the floor, left hand to the inside of your thigh, not your knee. Right hand straight up from your hip. I'm gonna move this blanket a little out of the way first. Inhale, lift your ribs up. Exhale, flatten your right hand on the floor, come into your side bend, relaxing your neck. Inhale, stretch your breath from your right sit bone all the way up your right side ribs, and use actually the left. I'm mirroring you, I have to remind myself. So breathe in through the left side ribs. Use your left hand to stretch the left thigh away from the hip. Exhale, slide your right shoulder blade away from the ear, relaxing your neck a little more. Luxuriously saturate your spot with your breath. And exhale, just turn your chest towards your right thigh, letting your head hang. Keep your left hand on the left thigh. Then inhale, slowly sit back up. We have the other side to do, so sit up on your left sit bone, grab your right thigh in both hands and coax it away. Then set that sit bone back on the floor, right hand to the inside of your right thigh, left hand on fingertips straight out from your hip. Press into your feet, press into your sit bones, and then inhale, spread both side ribs up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lean into your side bend, flatten the left hand on the floor, relax your neck. Press gently down and out in the right hand, tractioning your right thigh away from the hip. Then inhale from the right hip all the way up the right side ribs, lifting up through the collarbone and the sternum. Exhale, relax your neck a little more. It does help to slide the left shoulder blade away from the ear. Give yourself some space to let go. Inhale, lift up a little more through the sternum, get taller. Exhale, turn your chest over your left thigh. Let your head hang, stretching the back of the neck. Inhale, slowly sit back up. Gather your legs, come onto your back, but grab one of your blocks first for abs with a block. We're gonna start with basic abs with the block to warm up. If you know regular abs with the block, you can up level, but I will be cueing basic abs with the block and then moving into regular abs with a block. So for basic, feet are flat on the floor, activate them, spread and lift the toes. If you're pregnant, you are doing this part, but you're just doing a pelvic tilt. No breath holds, no pulling the belly down or in. And you're working on inhaling the low back slightly off the floor. Exhale, spread the top rim of the sacrum and the low back across the floor. Squeeze your sit bone muscles, squeeze your block, and scoop your tailbone towards the back of the knees. That's for pregnant people. Everyone else, clasp hands behind the base of your skull, elbows up. Head comes back onto the floor. Everyone press into your feet. Inhale through the whole back, including your spot. Hold the breath, spread the top rim of the sacrum down, scoop your tailbone up, squeeze your block. Push into your feet. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders away from the floor and pull your low belly down. Inhale, shoulders and head back to the floor. Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze your block. Keep your legs active and strong. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Pull your low belly down. Inhale, shoulders and head to the floor.
Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze your block. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Keep squeezing your block. Pull your low belly down. Lift a little higher off of your shoulder blades. Then inhale, shoulders and head to the floor. Pause here. You can stay in your basic abs at the block, but if you have further to go, legs can straighten up towards the ceiling, pushing up through the arches and the balls of the feet. If your hamstrings or your low back are unhappy there, bend your knees 90 degrees, flexing your feet. Everyone, breathe in, stretching your back ribs across the floor. Hold the breath, scoop your tailbone up, squeeze your block, no matter what you're doing. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders away from the floor. Use your upper abdominal muscles and pull your low belly towards the floor. Inhale, shoulders and head to the floor. Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze your block. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Pull your low belly down. Inhale, shoulders and head to the floor. Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze your block. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Pull your low belly down. Breathe in, shoulders and head to the floor. Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze your block. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Pull your low belly down. Breathe into your spot. Bring your shoulders and head to the floor. Exhale, feet to the floor, hands on your belly. Breathe and feel. Feel that energy, the heat. With your exhale, wash that heat and that energy through your spot. Use it to burn away what is not useful and make a shift. Then remove your block off to the side. Basic elbow to knee. I'm going to cue basic elbow to knee first for a few rounds and then move into regular if you're ready. If you know regular elbow to knee, you can go right into it. Clasp your hands behind the base of the skull. For basic elbow to knee, feet stay on the floor. Everyone, your feet are active. If you're pregnant, you're starting with this setup and you can lift your legs, but the head stays on the floor and no breath holds or pulling the belly down. If you're not pregnant, inhale, lift your head and shoulders away from the floor. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, left knee over the hip, both elbows point toward your left knee, pull your low belly down. Inhale, foot back to the floor, the head and shoulders stay up, come back to center. Hold the breath, spread the low back down to scoop your tailbone up. Squeeze your sit bone muscles towards your tailbone. Exhale, right knee over the hip, both elbows towards your right knee. Pull your low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, both elbows towards your left knee. Activate your feet. Press into your right foot and pull your low belly down. Inhale, foot back to the floor, come back to center. Rest your head in your hands. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, right knee over the hip, both elbows towards it, pull your low belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the left knee. Push into the right foot. Squeeze your sit bone muscles towards your tailbone. Pull your low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Spread the low back down. Scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, both elbows towards the right knee. Squeeze the sit bone muscles towards your tailbone. Pull your low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring the head down just for the moment to assess. You can repeat this basic elbow to knee. But what I'm going to be cueing is regular elbow to knee. For that, knees over the hips, feet lower than the line of the knees. If you're pregnant, you're continuing in the version you're doing. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders off of the floor. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the left knee, right leg straight. The heel is either 3 feet off of the floor or somewhere up, even including towards the ceiling, straight up towards the ceiling. Pull your low belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Keep resting your head in your hands. Hold the breath. Spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, both elbows towards your right knee. Straighten the left leg out. Push out through the ball of the foot. Pull your low belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Hold the breath. Spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Squeeze your sit bone muscles. Exhale, elbows towards the left knee, right leg straight. Keep pushing out through that leg. Squeeze your sit bone muscles towards the tailbone. Pull your low belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the right knee, left leg straight. Squeeze your sit bone muscles towards your tailbone. Pull your low belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Do 2 more rounds on your own. When you're done, exhale, head, then feet down onto the floor. Breathe in and already feel the shifts that are happening by building up your own body heat. Then slowly turn all the way over onto your side and use your hands to press up to sit. Once you're upright, use your bottom hand on the cheek and lift your head back up. Cat-cow. Come onto your hands and knees. Set up for cat-cow. Those whose knees are uncomfortable on the floor, you're doing cat-cow by standing, knees bent, sit bones back, hands somewhere on your thighs. Inhaling, chest forward, belly forward. Exhale, the back rounds towards the back of the room, chin tucks. And you're still pulling the belly in there, unless you're pregnant. Everyone else, hands and knees. Inhale, drape the belly towards the floor, pull the chest forward. Exhale, round the back towards the ceiling. Now bring the tops of the feet onto the floor and pull your belly in. Press into your feet. Inhale, tuck the toes, press into them, drape the belly, and pull the chest forward. Exhale, round the back towards the ceiling, pressing into the tops of the feet, pull your belly in. Do 2 more rounds on your own, breathing into your spot and feeling how these undulations can shift your spot. When you're done, come back to center. And I'm going to do the rest of the practice without my glasses on so they don't fall off. Turbo puppy. Walk your hands forward about 4 inches. Bend your elbows halfway towards the floor and relax your neck. Knees stay under the hips. Press into your hands. Spread luxuriously your breath into your upper back. Exhale, squeeze your elbows towards each other, wrapping your shoulder blades. You should start feeling the muscles in your armpits. And at the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, start turning on. If you feel it more in the front of your neck, relax your neck more. Spread your breath in your upper back, but in particular along the line from bottom tip of shoulder blade to bottom tip of shoulder blade. Then exhale, wrap your shoulder blades towards the armpits without collapsing your chest. The movement you should be feeling it somewhere in the upper arms, the armpits, the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, and even around your upper chest near the collarbones. Now straighten your arms. Dolphin pose. We're going to work with that same wrapping of the shoulder blades. So bring your forearms down, take your elbow measurements, wrapping your fingers around the upper arm bones. You can clasp hands for extra support or forearms parallel, spreading your fingers. Today I'm working with hands clasped. Relax your neck. Push into your forearms and your hands. Breathe into the upper back. Exhale, wrap your shoulder blades, tuck the toes. If you have further to go, hips towards the ceiling. You can keep the knees quite bent here if that's better for your low back. Push into the forearms, stretch the breath from your spot and into your upper back. Exhale, push into the forearms, wrap the shoulder blades towards the armpits. Lift the shoulder girdle away from the floor a little bit more. Use the shape of this pose, and you're somewhat upside down here, so use this pose to explore how the shape of the pose allows you to move your breath in a different way into your spot. Then, embryo pose. Bring your knees lightly to the floor. Sit your hips back on your heels. The forehead could rest on a block. If you have further to go, the forehead could rest directly on the floor. If you're pregnant, widen your knees so your belly has some space. If that's still uncomfortable, use your blanket. Place your blanket between your calves and the backs of your thighs. Hands beside the hips. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, slowly roll up. Come to stand for horse stance with Agni, Sara. So, once you're standing, widen your feet 4 feet apart. Rotate your toes out to the sides. I'm going to do this with you, but I'm lifting my shirt. If you'd like, you can lift your shirt, especially if you're doing this at home, so that you can start airing out your belly, and you might be able to see what's happening in your own belly. For some of us, that's a little difficult to really see down to the belly. Bend your knees coming onto your horse. If you're pregnant, you're not doing Agni Sara, but you are doing horse stance, squeezing your sit bone muscles and sliding your tailbone towards the floor. You can add in the back traction, pressing into the arms, stretching the shoulders and the ribs towards the ceiling. For the Agni Sara people, hands on your thighs, not on your knees. Straighten your arms as much as is available. Sink a little lower on your horse, squeeze your sit bone muscles. Agni Sara is similar to Uddiyana, but it's a pumping belly action. So I'm going to talk the first round through with you. Start with partial inhale. Exhale forcefully all the breath out, get empty. Stay empty, don't inhale. Pump your belly, pull it in, let it go. Pull it in, let it go. Do that as many times as is interesting and comfortable. And then before you need to breathe in, let your belly go, breathe in. Do 2 more rounds on your own. Once you're done, push into your feet, straighten your legs, inhale, and walk your feet back underneath your hips. Come to the front of your mat, grab your blocks for modified sun salutations. Have your blocks on the front outer edges of your mat to start. Take a sip of water, adjust your hair, adjust your clothes. This is the moment. A couch is helpful to put props on. We're going to start low, so come onto your knees here.
in whatever way helps you. If your low back is very painful, your block's on the highest edge. If your knees are painful, this might also be useful. Step your left foot forward, right in between the blocks. And then tuck your right toes and hop that right foot back a little bit. Bring the knee down. Bring the top of the right foot to the floor. Sink your hips forward and down. Press into both feet. Use your blocks, press into them. Inhale, pull your ribs away from your waist. Exhale, squeeze the right sit bone muscle down the back of the right thigh. Pull your belly in. Plank pose. Just bring the blocks out to the side of the mat. Bring the hands down, step back into tabletop first. Then walk your knees back 4 inches, shoulders over your wrists. Pull your belly in. We're gonna start in modified plank. Pull that belly in, squeeze your sit bone muscles. Push into the hands, push into the feet, breathe in. Exhale, lower down, elbows straight back. Low cobra. Move your hands forward 12 inches. Elbows 1 inch in front of the line of the shoulder. Press into your feet, curl the pubic bone into the floor. Squeeze your sit bone muscles down the backs of the thighs. Inhale, push into the hands, drag the chest forward, elbows and forearms 2 inches away from the floor. Pull the chest forward, lower down, hands underneath the shoulders. Exhale, back into down dog. Wrap your shoulder blades. Lunge, inhale, lightly step the left foot forward. If you need to bring the knees down first, do that. Grab your blocks. Sink the hips forward and down. Press into the feet. Pull the chest away from your waist. Tabletop. Keep the hands on the blocks. Just step the foot back. Bring the hands, well, no, keep the hands where they are. We're going to move into the second side. Step your right foot forward between the blocks. Sink your hips forward and down. And if you feel a little stuck here, it might be that your feet are too close together. Or if the right heel is lifting away from the floor, scoot that foot forward so you can keep the right heel down. Keep pressing into your feet and pull your chest forward. Plank pose. Move your blocks off to the side, hands down. Exhale, this time step back into plank unless you need your modified plank in this moment. Pull your belly in, pull your front bottom ribs in. Squeeze the sit bone muscles down the backs of the thighs. Lower the knees. Keep pulling the belly in, press into your feet, tops of the feet. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Belly and chest come down at the same time. Low cobra. Move your hands forward 4 inches, or 12 inches rather, a longer 4 inches. Push into the feet, inhale, pull the chest forward. Pull the chest forward, lower down. Hands beneath your shoulders, exhale, down dog. Lunge, inhale, lightly step your left foot forward. Bring your right knee down. This time, if you'd like, you could bring your hands onto your thigh or even up overhead. Forward fold in a high squat. Bring your hands down first. If your back or knees are tweaky, you can use your blocks. I'm going to show that. Tuck your back toes. Exhale, step forward. Keep the knees bent. The belly and chest rest on your thighs. Relax your head. Then bring your hands onto your thighs. Inhale. Roll up to stand, using your hands for support. If you'd like to keep using the blocks, keep them there. If you're ready to move on for a couple of modified suns, but moving a little faster, move your blocks off to the side. Push into active feet. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, forward fold by rolling down. Hands down, lunge, inhale, left foot back. Sink your hips forward and down. Bring your arms where they work for you. Plank, hands down, exhale, step back. Lower the knees, then lower all the way to the floor. Shoulder blades away from the ears and the floor. Low cobra, inhale, pull the chest forward.
Pull the chest forward, lower down, hands beneath the shoulders. Exhale, down dog. Lunge, inhale, lightly step your left foot forward between the hands. Exhale, forward fold with bent knees. Inhale, either roll up or use your hands on your thighs to stand up. Lift your arms up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Do one more round of suns on your own. It's the right foot back and then forward. Do it in a way that supports your spine, supports your spot, and makes a shift in your spot. Once you're done, come and stand at the front of your mat, breathing in your Ujjayi breath into your spot. Set up for B series. Set up for chair, so feet can be together or a few inches apart, but squeeze your legs either together or isometrically towards each other. Squeeze your sit-bone muscles. Inhale, hips back, chest forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Hang over your legs. If that bending the knees works for your spot or your low back, do that. Scoop your ribs forward. You can do this with the knees quite bent. Breathe in. Exhale, back into your plank. Knees can be up or down, your choice. Lower all the way to the floor. Both with palms down. Bring the hands beside the hips, palms on the floor. Curl the pubic bone into the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, the arms. Only lift the legs if your low back can tolerate it. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Lower down, hands beneath the shoulders. Exhale, back into your down dog. Warrior two with shoulder shrugs. Lightly step your right, or left foot rather, forward between the hands. Come into your warrior two. Lower your arms. Squeeze your sit-bone muscles. Spread your breath into your upper back. Hold the breath. Shrug the shoulders straight up. Squeeze straight back. Exhale, squeeze. Drag down the back about 2 inches. Keep pulling your front bottom ribs in. Relax your arms. Stretch your breath between the shoulder blades. Exhale, squeeze straight back. Squeeze, drag down your back. Saturate the breath or the back with breath. Exhale, squeeze bottom tips of shoulder blades. Add your elbows. Squeeze, drag down your back. Relax the arms. Inhale, lift your arms up for Eagle Warrior 2. Wrap your left arm underneath the right. You could double wrap here, single wrap. You could also do this stretch where the right arm is straight and the left arm cradles it with the hand on the shoulder, the outside of the shoulder. Elbows in line with your upper chest. Breathe into the upper back. Exhale, shoulder blades down, shoulders down. Send your elbows and your hands forward. Squeeze your sit-bone muscles. Slide your tailbone towards the floor. From there, inhale, stretch your ribs up towards the ceiling. Exhale, rinse your breath through your spot. Use this pose to make a shift. Unwind your arms. Exhale, hands to the floor, plank pose. Lower down, knees can be up or down, your choice. Boat, palms facing the ceiling, hands beside the hips, palms up. Curl the pubic bone into the floor, squeeze your sit bone muscles. Inhale, lift the chest, the arms, and if you're ready, lift the legs. Lower down, hands beneath the shoulders. Exhale, down dog. Wrap your shoulder blades. Lunge, inhale, step your right foot forward. Between the hands, come into your warrior two. Shoulder shrugs. Breathe into your upper back. Hold the breath. Shrug the shoulders straight up. Squeeze straight back. Exhale, squeeze. Drag down the back with your shoulder blades 2 inches. Saturate your upper back with breath. Exhale, squeeze straight back with your shoulder blades and not by jutting the front ribs out. Squeeze and drag down your back. Balloon breath into the upper back. Exhale, squeeze bottom tips of shoulder blades, out your elbows, squeeze, drag down your back. Float your arms up. Eagle warrior two. Wrap your right arm underneath the left. You can double wrap. You could single wrap, or you can do this stretch where the left arm is straight and the right arm cradles underneath it. Stretch your breath into your upper back. Exhale, send the shoulders and shoulder blades down the back. If you have the eagle wrap, send the elbows forward and hands away from the face. Pull your belly in, pull the front bottom ribs in. Breathe in, pushing into the feet. Exhale, sink a little onto your warrior two, having the right knee directly over the ankle. Unwind the arms, down dog. Exhale, hands frame your right foot. Step back, exhale. Warrior two, step your left foot forward. Reverse warrior. From your warrior two, stretch your arms out. Inhale the right arm back, then bring the right hand onto your hip crease. We're doing neck release pose, or a reverse warrior. Relax your neck. Use your right hand on the hip, gently press into it. Inhale from there, lift your right side bottom ribs away from the waist. Exhale, stretch both sides of your ribs towards the back of your mat, what's now the back of your mat. Breathe into your spot, feeling for what shift, that shift that you identified at the beginning of class. Is that the shift that's still ready and still what you want? And if it is, send your exhale, rinsing that through your spot, sending that intent to shift your spot to where you want to go. Extended warrior variation with a sacral pulse. Inhale, pull yourself up. Bring your left forearm on your thigh, first for extended warrior variation. Then your right hand comes onto your sacrum. Relax your neck. Push into the left forearm. Inhale, lift the whole torso away from your left thigh. And as you exhale, squeeze your right sit bone muscle down the back of the thigh and use your hand, your right hand, to pulse your sacrum away from the low back. It's a little move. Keep plugging the outer edge of your right foot into the floor. That's your anchor. What you may start feeling when you do these sacral pulses
is it starts bringing some attention and more feeling into that right sit bone muscle, and how you can really squeeze it down to make space in your low back without jutting your right hip flexor forward. Then inhale, bring the right arm towards the ceiling, unwind. Exhale, down dog. Actually, make that plank pose. Shift your shoulders over the wrists, bring the knees down or up, lower all the way to the floor. Boat, grabbing your sit bone muscles, hands behind you. Reach around in that little crease between your thighs and the beginning of your buttocks. Reach around, feel your sit bones, then squeeze those muscles around them and feel how it's almost like you're cupping your buttocks a little bit more when you do that. Curl your pubic bone towards the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. If your low back can tolerate it, lift the legs, look at the floor. Lower down, hands beneath the shoulders. Exhale, down dog. Reverse warrior with neck release pose. Step your right foot forward. Come into warrior 2 first. I'm just shifting so that I mirror you here. Press into your feet. Inhale, stretch your left arm back. Bring your left hand onto your hip crease. The right arm hovers over the right thigh. Relax your neck. Pull your belly in. Use your left hand, gently press just a little bit to inhale, scoop the left side bottom ribs away from the waist. Exhale, get longer through the spine, shoulders move away from your waist. Relax your neck. Roll the head of the right shoulder up and back slightly so that arm just hangs. Extended warrior variation with the sacral pulse. Inhale, come back up. Bring the right forearm on your right thigh, the left hand on your sacrum. Push into both feet. Squeeze that left sit bone muscle down the back of the left thigh. Inhale through the left side ribs. Exhale, pulse. Pushing into the left hand gently, moving the bottom tip of the sacrum away from your waist, the back waist, and a little bit towards the front of your left thigh. So that you're making space in your low back. Breathe in and feel how this little pulsing action affects your spot. Can you use it to make a shift in your spot, even if it's not directly connected? Then inhale your left arm towards the ceiling, unwind. Exhale, down dog. Frame your front foot, step back. Step your left foot forward. Warrior 1 variation with archer arms. If you already know that you need your strap, find your strap. And start off in regular warrior 1 first. Hips are squared towards the front of the mat. Your left leg is forward, right leg back. If you're using the strap, just drape it on your left shoulder. Hands on the hips for a moment. Bend your right knee. Now look down at it. If your knee is in back of the line of the right hip, hop that right foot forward 1 or 2 inches. Get that knee to be right under your hip. The left knee stays on top of the left ankle. Lower your right knee a little bit. Squeeze your sit bone muscles. Send your tailbone down. Then add the archer arm. You could do just a half archer arm with the bottom arm. It's the right arm down, and it'll be the left arm up for full archer. But if you're working on the half archer, your left hand can coax your right elbow in towards your center line. If you're using the strap, grab it in both hands.
Inhale, feel whatever it is that's happening in this pose. Could be a lot of energy coming up. Exhale, push into both feet, even on that right foot. Squeeze your sit bone muscles. Easy twisting lunge. Yay, for my right thigh. Set up in a 90-degree lunge first. If you want to block, grab it. Your block will be underneath your right hand if you're using it. I'll show that. This is a wide twisting, easy twisting lunge. So the right hand is 18 inches away from the inside of the left foot. Make sure you're in a 90-degree angle. Push into the right hand. Inhale the left arm towards the ceiling. Exhale. Right shoulder blade away from the ear. Let your head hang. Push into both feet. Then, down dog, both hands to the floor. Step back. Warrior One variation with archer arms. Step your right foot forward, Warrior One. Set up in that Warrior One variation. Bend the left knee. Hop the left forward so you can get that left knee directly over, or under rather, the hip. Right ankle or right knee stays on top of the right ankle. Squeeze your sit bone muscles. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, send your tailbone towards the floor. If you're using your strap, grab it for your archer arms. It's the right arm up, left arm down. You could work on that bottom arm only for half archer arms. And it's the left arm still down. Inhale, stretch your breath from the base of your spine, right at your sacrum, and stretch it all the way up along your spine and pull it into your spot. Exhale, squeeze those sit bone muscles, press into your feet, support your spine, pull your belly in. Easy twisting lunge. Set your left knee down gently, pat it if you need to. Grab your block if you're using it. The block is 18 inches to the inside of your right foot. My mat slips a little bit on the rug. Inhale, stretch your right arm towards the ceiling. Exhale, relax your neck. Push into your feet to pull your belly in. If your right knee is a little tweaky, you can turn your right toes out a couple of inches if that's better for your knee. Gently unwind, bring your right hand to the floor. Exhale back into your down dog. Set your knees down, sit down, and come onto your back. Back traction, or not back traction, back release pose. Have your feet on the floor. Left ankle comes over your right thigh. Lift your right foot away from the floor. You might grab behind your right thigh or in front of your right shin if you have further to go. If your neck is lifting away from the floor, grab your pants, the side of your pants. Flex that left foot. Shoulder blades away from the ears. Breathe in, stretching the back ribs, all of them across the floor. Exhale, let yourself be heavy, and if you have further to go, squeeze your right thigh towards your chest. Release that. Bring both feet to the floor. Come to the other side, the right ankle over the left thigh. Grab behind your left thigh or in front of the left shin, or grab pants at either side of your thigh. Shoulder blades away from the ears. Relax the back of your skull. Breathe in, stretching breath into the back ribs. Exhale, squeeze your left thigh towards your chest. And you can use your right elbow to push the right thigh away from your chest. Bring both feet to the floor. Let your sacrum and your low back settle to the floor. What I need to do sometimes is push into my feet, squeeze my sit bone muscles, tuck my tailbone, and pull the sit bone muscles away from the back of, or away from my low back rather, to lengthen the low back first. Then straighten your legs if you have further to go, setting up for Savasana. Relax your arms on the floor. If that does not work for you, if your low back is very painful, we're moving away from pain. So bring your feet back to the floor as wide as your mat. Knock your knees together. For those who are at home and near a couch like I am, I'm going to show you one other option. Scoot near your couch. Then lift both knees, or legs rather, calves onto your couch. It's a little bit of a maneuvering around. And just rest the backs of your calves on the couch. Make sure that you're not lifting your low or mid back away from the floor. Keep it settling down into the floor. If you're at home, you can pause the video and relax in your Shavasana for 5 more minutes or even 10 minutes. You might need to set a timer so that you don't fall asleep. And everyone, slowly bring your attention back to your whole body. Take a deep, saturating breath in. Fill your whole core, that space from the bottom of your pelvic bowl to the top inside of your skull. Rinse your exhale down and around, filling each cell, every part of your body with your breath. Then slowly roll over to your side. Slowly make your way up to sit, letting your head be the last to come up. Find your comfortable seated position. Come back into your Ujjayi breath if you've lost it on the way up. And fill your spot and the space around your spot with your breath, and feel, just luxuriate in what you feel. Rinse your exhale through your spot, using this breath to still make a shift, if that's making space or bringing in a little more ease, or moving towards pain-free, which is a journey. Then bring your hands in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you